Welcome back, Garden fans. Hope your day's going well. Carpe diem. So I'm down here in the war room, getting prepped up for season. Deer season's coming up here in another month or two, and I figured this would be a good time to go through my first aid kit, my primary first aid kit. This might help you out too. So here we go. First, the case. This is going to be the case that I finally keep at the house, the one I keep in the truck, and the one that goes to the campsite. So I'm not too worried about it being super tough. I chose orange. I like blaze orange just because I need something super loud, because when you're in crisis mode, loud stands out. I found this case on Amazon. I love it. Holds a lot. Got a little divider in it. All the good stuff like that. So choose your color, but I recommend go with loud. So let's move on to what's actually going in the case. So this is all the stuff that I keep in my main first aid kit. And my thinking kind of works like minor inconveniences to ouch day trip enders to keep myself alive long enough to get to a doctor. It's just stuff that I've found I could possibly need in the likely scenarios that I'll put myself in hunting and fishing and whatnot. Follow me here, okay? First off, in any first aid kit, your personals, the Nunya stuff, the prescription pills, asthma inhaler stuff that you and you alone need, okay? Likely scenarios that I've had at campsites and in the hunting field and stuff like this. Headaches, goodies powder, and a bottle of Tylenol, okay? Tylenol's got multiple uses, but these are great to both have on hand. Small, don't take up a lot of room. Chapped lips, keep a tube of chapstick on hand, and a little tiny travel thing of Vaseline. This works great for a fire starter as well, so 2 for 1. Heartburn, keep a little thing of Tums. Get a hold of some bad something, diarrhea, Imodium AD tablets, small, good to have. Congestion, I don't keep any like nasal spray because I don't really have allergies or anything, but if you get like a stopped up nose, I do keep a little thing of Listerine strips. The menthol kind of opens me up a little bit better. Cuts, small cuts, always get the Neosporin, and multiple size band-aids. I mean, I got a lot of them here. Normal sizes, tiny, knuckle band-aids, fingertip cuts, just those are specially tailored band-aids, but that's fingers usually where I get cut the most. You mess around a campfire, you're gonna get burned. I have, so I've got my burn creams here, just in case. Poison ivy rash, come in contact with that a lot. Hydrocortisone cream, good to have. Maybe you drop a piece of bacon in the back end of your crock and a yellow jacket stings you on the foot. Don't ask me how I know that, but for sting relief, keep little sting relief vials, wipes, and even keep a jar of tobacco. That's old school remedy and it still works. I keep 2 travel things of Bayer, pain relief, and if somebody's having a heart attack on the trail, these are good to have. Sanitation is a big thing. I mean, come on, infection's real. So alcohol pads, iodine wipes, and preloaded swabs here. Found these are pretty handy. For my liquids that I keep in my case at all times, keep a little bottle of fresh water. Never know when you might need that. These little Nalgene bottles are great. They're tough. They're flip top squirt bottles and they didn't leak, but I keep a 3% peroxide in this one. Keep a couple vials of hand sanitizer, you know, for the obvious reasons, but it's also a good fire starter. Another Nalgene bottle I keep of whiskey. This is my misery relief, just something. Keep a little bottle of liquid Band-Aid, always good to have. Another option to close a wound. And another option to close a wound is this quick stop right here. This is good to, this just works. I've used it a lot. Like SPRAINS, I've got a ace bandage and safety pin. It's good to have. You got medical tape, always good thing to have. Several gauze pads, different sizes. I mean, you can't really have too many of those. These come in handy. Hopefully, don't ever need them, but you might. This came in a case of triangular bandage, like for making a makeshift sling. I've got some minor wound heal powder here. I find it's good to have tweezers in a first aid kit. I mean, splinters, thorns, all that nasty stuff. I have to keep an ice compress just for obvious reasons. You roll an ankle, swells up, don't want it to swell. That's pretty much the stop of my trip ending stuff. This stuff over here is more save my life type stuff. I don't really hope I never really need any of this, but I have it. So I keep a good pair of scissors on hand just to like cut your britches off or a shirt, type of clothing, whatever. This is called a Sam splint. It's a makeshift splint, molds to whatever, and I have not used this personally, but we had a hunting member last year at the lease break his ankle, and I used this and wrapped it around, or they used this and wrapped it around his ankle and took him to the ER, and I was told later that because of this thing, you didn't damage your ankle as much as you could have because it wobbles around, and after people break stuff, it wobbles around. That's what causes the most damage. So that's a good thing to have. For big gashes, like hit artery pumpers, quick clot, it's a good thing to have. I use the gauze. It's made to just makes the clot, and it works great. I keep masks in there. I mean, COVID's still a thing. I keep a tourniquet. See, it's still in the package. Hope it always stays in the package. But if it's there, if it happens, it's there. Between the band-aids, the gauze, that suit, that works for most cuts and minor scrapes. If you get some big slices, like say you're butchering a deer and you nick something pretty bad, I've got these Stair Strips, like kind of a zip stitch style stuff. It's I'm not medical, I don't know. It basically sticks on, you zip it, and it closes your wound up without any type of stitching or anything, okay? That's what those are. But if it ever has to come down to it, where I'm just dire need of either stitching myself up or dying, I'm gonna go butcher on myself, but I have the tools to make it not look terrible. I have needles and sewing thread, not sewing thread, but just stitching thread, and scissors and tweezers all in this little case that goes inside it. So once again, hopefully I never have to use that right there, but I have it. The stuff down here on this bottom, I consider good stuff to have. Just, you know, kind of stuff. I mean, vinyl black gloves, good to have. Little manual. I mean, just something to know, something to follow. I mean, something to get you out of the wild. Multi-tool, another good thing to have in the first aid kit. Keep a lighter. Never know when you might need a cigarette lighter in the first aid kit. I keep a glow stick in the first aid kit. These are great for marking areas. Say you have to mark somewhere in the dark, and you can crack this and find your way back. I keep a couple of plastic straws in my first aid kit. These are good for really just gaining access to fresh drinking water where you can't just like get a cup in or dip your hand into. But good thing to have, small, lightweight. A couple popsicle sticks in my first aid kit as well. These work great for a fire tender if you need it, or a makeshift splint with finger splint. Maybe break your finger and take the first medical test. Yeah, so do that. Keep a little vial of cotton swabs. Never know. It's good fire tender as well, but you might need it for medical purposes. I don't know. Keep a little thing of razor blades. Never know when you need a sharp razor blade. Keep a little thing of dental floss. Never know. I keep a headlamp and batteries for said headlamp, because bad things just seem to happen in the dark. It's better than juggling your phone flashlight trying to figure out what's wrong. Keep a little jar of water purification tablets for the obvious reasons. I've got a little pill bottle vial of, these are expandable paper towels. Like, they're that small, and when you wash them or wet them, they expand out. So that's just a good thing to have, keep clean. I keep a survival mirror in the case itself. You just never know, might have one of them weird positioned wounds that you can't quite get to or something, and you can't see, like maybe it's on the underside of your arm, and you sit there digging that way, you can just, I don't know. Handy, and a signal, and for signal purposes as well. And I keep a couple of, I keep a poncho for rain and a thermal blanket. I'm not too worried about hypothermia a whole lot, but you never know. Cold day, fall in the water, bad things happen, and good for makeshift shelter too. So that's everything that I keep in my primary first aid kit. You take away, add whatever you see fit. They'll come in all shapes and sizes. I have different first aid kits, and I'll go over those in a later post, but this is the primary one. And I hope this gave you some ideas. If they did, like and subscribe, and I'll have all the links down below. And stay safe out there. Be sweet.